Upon awakening, she finds herself amidst numerous lifeless bodies, with the leader still clinging to life. However, Bigfoot arrives, mercilessly dispatches the leader, and brazenly extracts his lungs before her eyes. Ashley arrives outside the prison to pick up her husband Maxwell, who has been declared innocent. When she collects him, their initial reunion is somewhat awkward, but Maxwell breaks the ice by expressing his gratitude for her picking him up. As he retrieves his belongings and attempts to smoke, Ashley, concerned about their child, urges him to quit the habit to avoid setting a bad example. Flashbacks of their life before Maxwell's incarceration flash through their minds. In the present, as they drive away, Ashley and Maxwell playfully fiddle with the car radio, sparking a sense of intimacy. Suddenly, Ashley pulls over, and they engage in a moment of intimacy in the back seat. However, their encounter is cut short due to Maxwell's struggles with his health, leaving them both disappointed. Stopping at a gas station, Maxwell heads inside to grab some food. Inside, they encounter a missing persons poster attributed by the shop owner to the mythical Bigfoot. The sheriff, skeptical of such claims, instructs the clerk to inform him if any relevant information arises. Numerous missing person posters plastered around the store hint at a troubling trend of disappearances in the area. Upon returning, Maxwell is warned by the clerk of the local rumor about Bigfoot lurking in the mountains, suggesting a haunting fate for him. Maxwell, deeming the clerk's words as irrational, exits the store, retrieving his belongings. Upon emerging, he is met with a hostile reception from a group of locals who label him a convict and taunt him disrespectfully. Despite the provocation, Maxwell remains compelled and silently enters the car. The couple continues their journey, eventually finding themselves in the heart of a dense forest. Maxwell reaches for a can of beer to cool off, sparking a disagreement with Ashley over his decision to drink again. Ashley perceives this as a sign of Maxwell's failure to learn from his past mistakes and mature, especially considering their growing family. Amidst their argument, the car unexpectedly collides with a person. Anxious, they investigate, discovering a severely injured and bloodied man. While Maxwell sympathizes with the victim, he denies their involvement in the accident. Simultaneously, an unknown observer monitors the couple. Ashley, concerned, resolves to alert the authorities, but Maxwell, wary of legal trouble due to his recent release from prison, tries to dissuade her. Despite his reservations, Ashley contacts the nearest police station, emphasizing the urgency of the situation and her belief that someone else is responsible for the man's injuries. In a tense moment, Maxwell notices something eerie in the woods and becomes a target of stone-throwing assailants. Struck in the face by a large rock, he tumbles down a slope and into a river. Spotting her husband motionless in the water, Ashley leaps to his rescue, struggling against the powerful currents to retrieve him. Despite the challenges, Ashley successfully navigates the tumultuous waters, reaching the shore with her husband in tow. Urgently, she administers CPR, reviving Maxwell, who is bewildered by the situation and his sudden presence in this unfamiliar place. Returning to the road, a massive hairy figure, revealed as Oma, the name given to Bigfoot by Native Americans, is seen in action. Oma single-handedly assists the couple by pushing their stranded vehicle down the slope and removing the mutilated body. Meanwhile, at the sheriff's station, the sheriff encounters the wife of a recently missing person, promising to aid in locating her husband before heading inside to confer with his deputy. Conversing about the series of disappearances, the sheriff mentions the prevalent Bigfoot tales circulating amongst the populace. Surprisingly, the deputy, a Native American, acknowledges the possibility of truth in these stories, citing their community's recognition of the creature as Oma. Despite the deputy's beliefs, the sheriff remains skeptical of the supernatural. Upon receiving a distress call from the woods, he ventures to the site for investigation. Meanwhile, by the riverbank, Maxwell's condition remains critical. Ashley, fortunately finding a lighter in his possession, creates a small fire to warm them both, leading to an improvement in Maxwell's health. As the sheriff commences his inquiry on the road, he discovers an empty scene before noticing the overturned car down the slope. After completing his search, the sheriff contacts his deputy urgently, requesting backup. he arranges for a tow truck to remove the car, intending to delve into the couple's disappearance. In due course, the tow truck arrives and retrieves the vehicle from the cliff's edge. Examining the car, the deputy provides the sheriff with information about the couple. Discovering Maxwell's recent release from prison, the sheriff instructs the deputy to conduct a background check, harboring suspicions that Maxwell may have committed another offense. Mid-investigation, the sheriff notices a presence observing him from the forest, but abandons the search upon finding nothing tangible. Down by the riverside, the couple opts to spend the night, planning to seek help in the morning. Maxwell reassures Ashley that they will reunite with their child once they return to the road. At daybreak, Ashley awakens from a nightmare featuring the injured man. While Maxwell has recuperated from his injuries, Ashley realizes her clothes are missing, prompting Maxwell to offer his tank top for cover. Before setting off, Ashley steps away briefly, unknowingly being watched by the lurking Bigfoot, who behaves intrusively by examining her urine-soaked mud. Deciding to follow the river towards the road, the couple faces a challenging journey due to the rugged terrain. Deep within the forest, they find themselves under the constant surveillance of the Bigfoot from a distance. During their exploration, the couple overhears men conversing and gunshots in the vicinity. Ashley identifies them as the troublesome individuals from the gas station, revealing their presence for a hunting expedition. Despite recognizing their dubious nature, Maxwell reluctantly approaches them, recognizing the necessity of seeking their assistance. Back at the station, the deputy conducts a background check on the couple, revealing Maxwell's prison history and Ashley's recent retrieval of him. However, no apparent links to their disappearance surface. In contrast, the deputy posits that Bigfoot might be behind their vanishing, a theory dismissed by the skeptical sheriff. Despite the sheriff's skepticism, the deputy advises a visit to the Whispering Woman, believed to hold knowledge about missing individuals due to her long-standing presence in the forest and purported immortality. In the forest, Maxwell opts to approach the hunters solo as Ashley conceals herself behind a fallen tree. The hunters mock Maxwell when he requests to use their phone, with their leader, BD, claiming poor signal in the area. Frustrated, Maxwell seeks directions while Ashley observes discreetly. Unexpectedly, Ashley fails to notice the approaching Bigfoot, which snips a strand of her hair, prompting her to rush to Maxwell upon sensing a presence. The rowdy men, observing her vulnerability, resort to catcalling. BD proposes returning to their truck located hours away, offering Ashley a jacket and suggesting they join their journey, mentioning a working radio in the vehicle. Elsewhere, the sheriff inspects the couple's vehicle at a garage, noticing claw marks that hint at a mysterious presence within the woods. Later, at the gas station, he affixes a new missing person poster for the couple, spurred on by the clerk's insistence on Bigfoot's involvement, gradually considering the likelihood of the creature's role in the disappearance. Later on, the deputy discloses that an elderly Native American woman battling cancer has inspired her tribe to arrange a traditional healing ceremony. Suggesting attendance for enlightenment, he proposes they participate. Meanwhile, the group comprising the couple and the hunters continue their trek through the dense forest. Unseen, Bigfoot shadows them from afar as BD and his companions persist in taunting Maxwell over his criminal past. During this exchange, a hunter named Gordy ventures into the woods for privacy, followed by a friend at BD's command. Within the forest's depths, Gordy relieves himself while his companion stands guard. Abruptly, a swooshing noise breaks the calm, leading Gordy to discover his friend fatally struck by an arrow through his neck. Before he can react, another arrow from Bigfoot impales Gordy, pinning him to a tree. Subsequently, the colossal creature emerges, confronting Gordy face to face and gruesomely dispatching him by crushing his eyeballs and skull. Meanwhile, a third hunter searches for his missing companions, encountering a mysterious presence darting through the woods. Terrified, he readies his firearm and seeks cover behind a tree, only for Bigfoot to locate and brutally behead him with an axe. Simultaneously, the remaining hunters harass the couple, reacting to the screams of their comrades dismissively. The sight of an arrow through a hunter's face triggers an alarm, prompting the group to arm themselves for a potential confrontation. BD discloses their illicit activities in the forest, coercing the couple into compliance. As a hunter attempts to shoot Bigfoot without success, success, Maxwell advises Ashley to find a hiding spot. A frightened hunter flees the scene in panic. Regrettably, the sole hunter who catches sight of Bigfoot mistakenly shoots at his own companion. Subsequently, Bigfoot emerges and fatally slashes the armed hunter's throat. Upon returning to find her unconscious husband, Ashley unwittingly attracts the creature's attention, triggering a chase through the forest. Taking refuge in a ditch, Ashley coincidentally encounters a cowardly hunter also seeking cover. Bigfoot eventually locates them, savagely disfiguring the terrified man. Despite Ashley's attempts to flee, Bigfoot employs his signature arrow to apprehend her, taking her captive. Upon their return, Bigfoot prepares to eliminate the unconscious Maxwell, only to be thwarted by a wounded yet resilient BD who shoots at the creature before being subdued. Bigfoot then transports both humans to his lair. That night, a mysterious woman approaches Maxwell in the woods, transports him in a wheelbarrow, and escorts him away. Revealed as the Whispering Woman, she transports Maxwell to her eerie abode, placing him on a bed and administering her unconventional remedies. Meanwhile, the sheriff and his deputy join an indigenous healing ritual, witnessing a priest leading prayers in the native tongue. Reluctantly consuming a sacred drink, the sheriff experiences disturbing hallucinations, including his deputy with darkened pupils and spectral visions within the tent, prompting his abrupt exit to compose himself. Simultaneously, inside a dark cave, Bigfoot detains the captives amidst a grim scene of mutilated corpses. Despite Ashley's pleas, the creature turns violent, fatally stabbing BD and extracting his heart. Subsequently, he approaches Ashley, forcibly removes her clothing, and assaults her. This disturbing act unveils the reason for sparing her life earlier. It appears he either harbors a romantic interest in her or seeks to procreate. The next morning, Maxwell awakens in the cabin to find the sheriff nearby, now adorned in Native American attire, seemingly embracing the local superstitions. The sheriff discloses Ashley's abduction by Bigfoot, an ancient forest dweller. The Whispering Woman relayed that Bigfoot, wounded in the arm, now stands vulnerable, presenting an opportunity for rescue. The sheriff suggests a direct confrontation armed with melee weapons, as firearms could betray their presence due to the scent of gunpowder. Preparing with hand weapons and masking their odor with an unusual substance, the sheriff, despite the restriction on firearms, covertly carries his gun with the masking agent. They set out, accompanied by the rhythmic drumming of the Whispering Woman, resembling a war cry. The noise provokes Bigfoot, goading him to confront his perceived adversaries, allowing Ashley a chance to attempt an escape. With her restraints tied by an ape-like creature, Ashley swiftly liberates herself inside the cave. Seizing firearms from the cave and donning clothing, she ventures out. Meanwhile, the men progress deeper into the forest, armed with spears. Assigning Maxwell the task of rescuing his wife, the sheriff opts to confront Bigfoot solo. Upon encountering the looming presence of the creature, the sheriff, unnerved, discards his spear in favor of his firearm. However, before he can fire a shot, Bigfoot ambushes him from behind, sinking his teeth into the sheriff's neck. At the sound of the sheriff's cries, Ashley and Maxwell rush to his aid. Ashley arrives first, armed with a shotgun, and catches sight of Bigfoot near the motionless sheriff. Despite Ashley's attempts, she misses every shot she fires, prompting Bigfoot to disregard her and move on in search of his next target. Shortly afterward, Maxwell arrives, and the couple is relieved to reunite. However, Ashley is not done yet. Determined, she tracks Bigfoot into the woods and shoots at him multiple times. Returning to her husband, they hear the creature wailing in pain, severely injured but far from defeated. Understanding they have only provoked the creature, Maxwell implores his wife to flee while he distracts Bigfoot. Reluctant but aware of the necessity, Ashley hesitantly runs as Bigfoot closes in from a distance. Now facing the beast alone, Maxwell confronts Bigfoot one-on-one, utilizing the sheriff's pistol to shoot him repeatedly in the chest. Running out of ammunition, Maxwell attempts to strike Bigfoot with an axe but misses. Fearing for his life, he attempts to escape but inadvertently steps into a bear trap, rendering him immobile and unable to reach his spear. Shortly after, Bigfoot approaches Maxwell, toying with him by manipulating the chain attached to the bear trap, inflicting unbearable agony. However, in a stroke of luck, this action inadvertently snaps the trap, granting Maxwell freedom and enabling him to seize the spear. Unaware of Maxwell's newfound advantage, Bigfoot draws near to deliver the final blow, presenting Maxwell with an opening for a surprise assault. Exploiting this moment, Maxwell thrusts the spear into the creature's chest multiple times, causing it to collapse. Subsequently, he seizes a sizable rock and delivers fatal blows to Bigfoot's head, ending its life. Meanwhile, Ashley continues her escape until she reaches a road. However, as Maxwell rests against a tree, he is suddenly struck by arrows. Soon after, 3 colossal Bigfoots emerge, signaling the presence of multiple creatures in the vicinity, marking the beginning of their reign of terror.